Have you ever met these kinds of people? 1. A self-centered person. I woke up to a perfect blue sky and thought, today's ideal for a camping trip. So I called up C, and she was totally in. Just as we were mapping out our route, B shows up out of nowhere, having somehow gotten wind of our plan, and blurts,
You three better pick a campsite with killer scenery.
mountains, clouds, rivers, ocean, sunshine, and a freaking rainbow, so I can snag some epic TikTok views. C and I shrug. Yeah, of course we want a stunning spot. On the morning of the trip, C and I suggested we hop on our motos. Way more fun, plus easy over the switchbacks and skinny trails. B absolutely lost it.
No fucking way. Riding a bike all day is torture. What if it's blazing sun or pouring rain?
C tries a compromise. We could just throw on riding suits? B screams even louder.
Are you kidding? You two can squeeze into those hideous spandex onesies, but I'd rather die than wear that crap.
C and I exchanged exasperated looks, sighed, and surrendered. Fine, we'll take B's beat-up old pickup truck. Naturally, B insisted on driving. The way B drove was absolutely terrifying. He drifted, zigzagged, even hit speeds that had me and C white-knuckling the seats. I finally piped up, Dude, yo, you're gonna shit us? Slow down or we're ending up in a ditch. B smirked like he'd just won a gold medal.
Please, I could drive with my feet better than you. Watch me.
I went pale. Just use your hands, okay? B whooped with delight, cranked the stereo to ear-bleeding volume, and blasted music so loud we could feel it in our teeth. Thankfully, C and I had AirPods, or we'd be rattled deaf right now. Even so, B's antics were grinding our nerves. Eventually, we rolled into the campsite, and wow, it really was jaw-droppingly beautiful. Clouds drifting over craggy peaks, a river sparkling into a tiny bay, sunshine streaked with a perfect rainbow arch. B's eyes lit up like a slot machine on a jackpot night.
Holy shit, this place is insane. Imagine the views I'll get on TikTok. 0 views, blasphemy.
He ran a hand through his hair, struck a pose, then barked,
Okay, you two haul the gear and pitch the tent. Gotta do a safety sweep first. Can't have any bears photobombing my videos.
C and I looked at each other, but got to work. I lugged the cooler up the hill while C hammered in tent stakes. By the time we'd got the fire roaring and started skewering meat over the coals, B swooped back in, phone in selfie mode.
Check me out, professional camper vibes on point, right? And here are my 2 pals, don't mind them.
Then he snatched up one of my perfectly charred chicken skewers. I yelped, Hey man, I made that!
Chill, bro, make yourself another. Besides, I'm the star of this show. And seriously, your grilling sucks. Next time, add some pepper and salt for my exquisite palate.
I almost lost my temper, but C handed me a fresh skewer with a sympathetic smile. She's a real one. Night fell and it was time to hit the sack. Since B and I are guys, we were supposed to share the tent, leaving the other for C. But B screeched,
No bloody way I'm sharing, I sleep alone.
and I don't wear anything to bed, won't sleep otherwise. That was it, I'd had enough of B's ego trip. I lunged forward to teach him a lesson, but a soft hand gripped my arm. I turned to see C, eyes wide, silently placing a baseball bat in my hand. 2. A hypocrite. Early on Saturday morning, A and C met bright and early in the St. Mark's Church Hall on the outskirts of Seattle to set up a Save the Paws charity bake sale for the homeless cat and dog shelter. B, self-proclaimed social justice warrior, showed up at the exact busiest moment, clutching an iPad and 3 notebooks. He draped an arm around C's shoulder, voice dripping with superiority.
Amazing, thanks to us, these pups will have a warm place to sleep. Where's A? Hurry up, we need to snap our volunteer squad for an Insta story before peak hour.
A and C forced polite smiles, while B sprinted to the center booth, whipping out his phone to livestream.
Hey y'all, we're live at the Save the Paws charity bake sale. Check out how dedicated my team and I are.
A was kneading dough, and C was piping frosting onto cupcakes, but B planted himself well outside the kitchen, yammering on.
Do you guys see how I'm leading this decorating class? Like and share to support responsible teamwork.
C muttered under her breath, You're not doing shit, you hypocrite. Naturally, B heard her, spun around with a nauseating grin aimed at C, then stepped off camera and told his livestream audience,
That girl's baking is absolute trash. Without my guidance, not even a dog would touch her cookie.
By the end of the day, A and C were exhausted, but proud. They'd each helped crank out 100 treats to improve life for the city's furry friends. When it came time to price the goodies, A and C set the price at $5 each. B immediately piped up,
Are you too fucking dumb? This is charity. People don't hesitate over a few extra bucks. You should charge $20 per pastry. We'll rake it in.
A and C had doubts, but thinking of the extra funds for the shelter, they nodded and sold their handmade desserts all afternoon. They ended up raising $2,000. Ready to hand over every penny to the organizers, A and C gave the cash to B, who said, Let me deliver it. You two clean up. I'll be back in a bit to help. B took the money with a grin that set off alarm bells in A's head. I leaned in to C. Let's go see what he's up to. C agreed, and together they saw B hand exactly $1,000 to the committee, half of what he'd promised. Then B marched up front to claim all the credit.
Thanks to my brilliant leadership, we hit 5 figures. My 2 assistants just carried by.
C's eyes filled with tears. Her hard work had been exploited. A couldn't stand it any longer and stormed forward. Well, B, you're a f***ing asshole. You did jack shit and took all the credit. B stammered, trying to save face.
Come on, UNC just set up chairs and poured water while I did all the real work.
A shot back. You sure about that? That's when C stepped forward, holding her phone aloft. On the screen was the live stream A and C had secretly run the whole time, capturing every second. From the first batch of dough to B pocketing half the cash, and now his lies being laid bare for everyone to see. 3. A envy person. People who are petty and envy often show it through a bunch of negative behaviors and attitudes. They're constantly comparing themselves to others and feeling insecure whenever someone else has achievements. Diplomas, relationships, and from that springs this urge to drag people down. For example, in high school, if there's that good-looking jock who's great at sports and has all the girls swooning over him, you can bet there's always some jealous kid plotting against him. Or if you're the nerd who studies your butt off and gets a little extra teacher praise, there'll be someone rolling their eyes and whispering, "He must have been kissing her butt to get that kind of attention." They hang on to these tiny grudges, then casually or deliberately spread rumors, drop sly hints, and stab you in the back. Like telling your biggest fans, "Dude's packing nothing," or tattling to a teacher that you were in some epic schoolyard brawl. When someone's praised, instead of celebrating, they scowl, criticize, and zero in on your flaws. And when things go wrong for you, they secretly revel in it, sometimes cackling behind your back. That jealousy even makes them constantly doubt everyone's good intentions, suspecting every genuine compliment is just a setup. 4. A controlling person. People who are total control freaks have this itch to micromanage everything around them so that everything goes exactly my way. And you can see it in a parade of tense, bossy behaviors that make everyone else feel like they're suffocating. At work, they won't just say, "Finish the report today." Oh no, they'll whip out a minute-by-minute schedule. Data collection done by 10 a.m., analysis wrapped up by 2 p.m., and at 4 p.m. I'll do a final check. And don't even think about more than 2 bathroom breaks per shift, or you'll get the stink eye. In class, the resident control freak will boss the group around. First, who's presenting the idea? Then you take notes, and after that, you redo the slides. And if you miss the deadline, that's on you. At home, they'll draft a daily timetable for the kids. 8 a.m., wake up and study. 9 a.m., review your notes. 10 a.m., read for 30 minutes. 11 a.m., take exactly a 5-minute break. They believe only rigid schedules can keep everything organized and prevent mistakes. But what they're really doing is draining everyone's creativity and freedom. They demand real-time updates. Email me as soon as you finish page 5, or call me right after every internal meeting. If they don't get an instant reply, they freak out. "It's been 10 minutes. Where's my email?" And with friends, it is the same. "Where are you? What are you doing? When will you be back?" So you're always under surveillance, never a moment's peace. Any fresh idea is immediately shot down as too messy. Nope, that won't work. I already tested my method. It's the gold standard. Say someone suggests switching your presentation slides to a pastel theme to tone down the glare, and they'll huff, "No way. This blue scheme is the only professional choice. If you don't like it, you can redo the slides to my exact specs." They don't bother listening to explanations. They simply assume their plan is the one and only right way. Unsurprisingly, coworkers and family end up feeling suffocated, constantly treading on eggshells. "I better check in, I better ask permission." It's exhausting. And because every idea has to pass their micromanagement inspection, nobody dares speak up, so the team's creative well runs dry. Before you know it, people start avoiding them, walls go up, and real communication grinds to a halt. See you again in part 2.